Happy Friday. Yep, whoop, whoop, whoop. Thank God. I'm so happy that it is Friday. And it's actually sunny today, although I think it's supposed to rain later, and then I think it's also supposed to rain all weekend, so that's fun. But my husband's on call this weekend, so it's not like we could go out and do anything super fun anyway, even if the weather was absolutely gorgeous. But I'll take the sunshine while I can, when I can. Me and the little girl that I nanny for have been going for walks every morning, about, I don't know, 20-25 minute walks, and I truly think that that has helped my energy and my mood. I came on here a few days ago saying how insanely freaking tired I have been, and how I haven't been feeling well and all this stuff, and how I have my period again right now, and I'm sure it's a combination of my period, not taking my vitamins, eating crappy a few weekends ago, you know, all of that stuff. But one of the things that I was not doing in that time frame as well was my walking. And I really have been pretty consistent, at least like, I don't know, a few times a week, probably 4 or 5 times a week I was walking for, you know, like 30 minutes a day. Like intentionally walking. Obviously I move all throughout my day because I'm always up and down with the kids at the park, this and that. So, but I mean like intentionally like going out for a walk. And I hadn't been doing that. And I really think that that was also contributing to me being exhausted, because since I've been walking with her every morning, I definitely feel like my energy's up a little bit. I'm on day, let's see, I'm on day like 5 of my period right now, and it's gotten heavier-ish the last like 2 days, 2.5 days maybe. So I don't know if maybe also the initial like rush of hormones from getting my period is also kind of, you know, behind me now, and that's why my energy's back a little bit. But I'm giving it until like Monday afternoon-ish, and if I'm still bleeding by then, I'm immediately going to reach out to my doctor. I already reached out to her like the day after I started bleeding, just being like, heads up, it's happening again. And she said, okay, nothing we can do right now, but if you go past 7 days, you know, reach out to me immediately and we'll get the medicine back on board, which, like, I'm just really hoping that I don't need that medicine again, because I'm sick of taking medicine for that reason, but I digress. So this morning when I was getting dressed, I was in my bathroom and I was putting on my tank top and I wanted to go put on my shirt. Well, let me rewind real quick. Over the last handful of months of me losing weight, it happened kind of quick in the beginning, the first like 10 pounds, and then slowed down a little bit, and then like 20 pounds came and I was like, awesome. And then I feel like I got, you know, I kind of, you know, it took a teensy bit to get to like 25-30 pounds, and then I feel like it's been pretty consistent since then, with like a few bigger drops in weight, and then a few, you know, like regular weeks where it's like, okay, a pound and a half. But I feel like all of a sudden where I'm at in my weight, which this morning I stepped on the scale and I was 253. So that's 53 pounds down, I think 52 maybe. And so all of that to say, you know, when I FaceTime my family, they've noticed, like a few of my neighbors have noticed, but no one has like straight out asked me, like, are you losing weight? People just like, oh, you're looking great, like, blah, 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 which I appreciate, you know, those comments. But specifically in the last like 3 days, I've had 3 separate people ask me, are you losing weight? You look so great. Oh my goodness. Like, wow, like you're looking wonderful, you know, type thing. And I think it's because I'm starting to look less like broad also in certain places. Like, that's what I'm noticing, like, especially when I do these videos. You can see, I think right there, the chair, you know, part of my chair. Before, I was like, I feel like I was like this, and like you couldn't see, you know, anything. But like now you're starting to see like the headrest, you're starting to see like the chair, because I'm becoming a little less wide. And so with that, this morning when I was getting dressed, I was looking at my body and I was like, okay, yeah, I definitely am starting to notice that I'm getting, you know, like thinner this way. And then I went to go, you know, put my shirt on, and my arms have always been big. I've always had big, flappy, you know, wings. But they've always been filled with like fat. Like, they've always been thick. Now, because I am losing weight, and in the previous years when I've lost weight, like when I had my gastric sleeve surgery, I was many years younger, and my body, my skin hadn't been, you know, stretched out and then refilled, and then lost weight, and then refilled, and then lost weight, which is obviously what's been happening since I lost my weight from my gastric sleeve surgery. Is I've gained it back, then I've lost some, and I've gained it back, then I lost some. So I've definitely like stretched and then re-stretched and then stretched and then re-stretched a lot of my skin. So I'm losing it differently this time around. Anyway, I noticed that my arms now are like super, super, super flabby, but more so with like loose skin rather than just all fat. Like, there's definitely still fat there, but like now a lot of it is like skin, and like you can kind of see in my arms that there's not as much fat, and that some of it is like skin now. And it got me thinking of like, you know, for me personally, I know in my hearts of hearts someday I would love to get skin removal surgery. I've always wanted to get it on my arms, and I think that that's probably the first thing that I would do once I get to like my goal weight and all of that stuff. I just hate my arms. I just don't like them. And I feel like I obviously don't love my apron belly. I don't love the fact that my, you know, girls are 2 different sizes and down to my toes. But there's just something about my arms that I just really, really, really don't like. And so I do this thing where like I tuck my wings like underneath so that from the front you can't see all the ripples and the bumps and the sagginess and whatever, but from the back you can definitely see it. So like the biggest things I'm struggling with right now, like accepting on my current body, are my arms and all of my like side fat. And I was just like I said this morning, thinking about like skin removal surgery and how like eventually I would love to get that. And it got me wondering if anybody, you know, watching this video has had skin removal surgery. If you have, do you regret it? How was your healing process? Like, obviously I'm still very, very, very far away from that, and I don't really think it would make sense for me to have any type of surgery or anything like that, like as far as my girls go, or my stomach or anything like that, until I have children, until I feel like I'm done having children, if I'm, you know, able to have them. But my arms, I definitely, you know, if I were to get down to my goal weight in the next, I don't know, year or so, and I felt like I was in a good place to get it done, I think I would get my arms done like babies and stuff like that. But I'm curious to know if anybody else has had skin removal surgery. Like I said, if you did, how was your healing process? And if you are losing weight, what are your thoughts on it? I know a lot of people who are in the beginning stages of their weight loss journey are always very concerned about you know, the weight that they have to lose and what that's going to do to their body as far as loose skin goes. And I definitely, when I was getting my gastric sleeve surgery, like that was 100% a very valid fear of mine of, great, now I'm just going to replace, you know, like fat with loose skin, and I'm going to be just as unhappy and all that stuff. And that was when I was younger, and very, very worried about, you know, basically just everything. And I, now thinking about it, I still obviously would prefer not to have loose skin. But I 100% would rather have loose skin and feel the way that I feel right now versus being 50 something pounds heavier again and carrying around all of that fat. I've said this so many times before, but I just obviously feel so much better, and I'm starting to, you know, not mind the way I'm looking as much. Like I said, I still have my insecurities, and I think I always will, but I don't look in the mirror and automatically get like disgusted with myself anymore. I'm looking in the mirror and I'm going, okay, like you're working your ass off, and like your body is changing. This is just where we're at right now. Like I'm being more understanding and accepting of my current body. And I also know that once I start like the resistance training and weightlifting and that type of stuff, it will help with some like loose skin and building muscle, because I do know that unfortunately I am losing muscle as well. I can just like feel it. So I definitely need to get into that. Maybe I'll try to make some sort of like plan this weekend. I don't want to go into the all or nothing mindset, especially with exercise, because that's where I tend to get burnt out very easily. So I think as long as I stick to my walking, you know, a few times a week, whenever I feel like I mentally need it rather than like physically doing it, and then maybe trying to lift some sort of weights like once or twice a week, just to kind of continue keeping my muscle and then building muscle, and hopefully that will help with some of the loose skin things. But I know once your skin is stretched, you know, kind of beyond what it's supposed to be, there's only so many weights, you know, you can lift. There's only so much that can do. But it isn't impossible. So yeah, curious to know what your thoughts are on skin removal surgery. Honestly, I think it's your body. You should be able to do whatever the hell you want. If it's not hurting anybody else, if it's not putting you in, you know, complete danger, and you're doing it solely for yourself, then I think do whatever you want. That's how I feel. Who am I to tell you what you can and can't do with your own shit, you know? Well, random video. Literally, these are just the things that go on in my head. All these random thoughts that I say to you guys are things that I just think about anyways, and I just like to use this as my journal. Yesterday, doing that little like asking people what others thought. If you didn't see my video yesterday, I put a video out asking you guys like what is something that you wish people who didn't struggle with their weight knew or understood or whatever. And you guys left so many great comments, and like reading some of the things people were saying, like I agree with 1000% of it. Like it's so true. And I do hope that one day people can look at each other and see more than just weight, see more than just, you know, skin tone, you know, anything. Like I hope people can just look at people one day as people, and nothing else will determine your worth, because you can't determine that just by looking at somebody, in my opinion. So, but again, happy Friday. We are almost to freedom, which for me is 4 o'clock on Friday. And then we'll have the weekend. Maybe I'll take you guys around with me, whatever I do this weekend. I really, truly don't have any plans other than kind of cleaning and grocery shopping. And maybe we can do like a workout video together or something. I did have a thought the other day, which like kind of made me giggle. I was like, what if we did like once a month or something like that? Like I found like a easy workout video, and then I can go live and we can all do like the workout video together. I obviously, unfortunately, wouldn't be able to see you guys, but you guys would be able to see me and like follow along with the video if I could figure out how to get it to do that. And we could kind of like work out together. I don't know. I was just trying to think of fun ways to like connect with you guys more, because I've been having so much fun with doing these car chit chats and like sharing my experiences with you guys and having you guys share experiences with me. So let me know what you think about my crazy ideas. I have a bunch of them.